This week, the way I really bored, there's no need for introduction. So I go straight to, whatever is eating me up. Now, within this week, I saw a video online where this comedian called Layla was actually doing his usual thing with the barb, where in the video, he promoted LGBTQ by, having a guy lick his ass, and when I saw the video, I was like, yo, this is the end. This is the last straw that is going to break the camel's back because Layla has consistently proven to us that, he's not a sensible and creative, comedian. He's someone who just wants to do stuff for people to laugh with about, and he's always forcing and imposing himself on people because naturally he's not somebody who comes across as naturally gifted at all. He does not have any sense of humor. He does not have any natural way of making people laugh with the bab. He forces it. He does that outrageous stuff because in this part of our world, people consider anything and everything funny with the bab. That's why Layla has even been relevant to this point. And I feel like this is the last straw that needs to break the camel's back. This is where we should tell Layla the truth and tell him that, yo, bro, ni awo ye no wedi nkwasese mache what you say. Why you ni amache? What I say ututo gati? What I say na uye ni ama ututo be netie no ututo atechim. This is the last point. You will not sit as a nation and watch you promote LGBTQ and have someone lick your ass on camera and we are going to applaud you. And it breaks my heart. I want to go into the comment section. You have people laughing, grown-ups, young, they're laughing to this. Is this comedy? Is this what you call comedy in 21st century, 2025, where the world has really progressed in technology and in every aspect of our human life? Ghanaian comedy and our sense of humor has not seen any progress. Layla them are the ones controlling the narrative when it comes to comedy. It be bullshit. It is very, very laughable. It is very, very unconscionable. It is very, very unacceptable that in this age and time where we are exposed to a lot of, things online, Layla them are the one controlling the narrative. And for me, I know that this is coming from a place of, illiteracy and the place of lack of exposure, lack of education, and the fact that most of our population are just people with the sense of humor day in the gutters, bro. Someone told me that the way you measure how people are smart or the way you measure the IQ of a country or a set of people is their sense of humor. What they actually deem to be funny. It's how you can actually tell if these people are really smart or they are not. And for me, I feel like Ghanaians, our IQ is actually judged by the things we find funny. If you find someone like Layla funny, then I don't think you're smart enough. If you find what he does as comedic, I don't think you have a high IQ. If you find what he portrays in his comedy, so-called comedies and the skits as funny, then you really need to check yourself. You really need to go for a therapy. It be just an outrageous display of incrassism, and we've applauded it. We've allowed it. We've accepted it. And which set of people are accepting it? People from the crassy, from the hinterlands. People from that side of the world. And the way TikTok has become a very fertile ground for them to thrive. Because before TikTok, we know that people were fooling, people were doing crazy things, but TikTok has actually given them a platform. For me, I blame TikTok for that. I blame the fact that the quality of content on Ghanaian TikTok be bullshit. It's not something that we can celebrate. It's not something that we can applaud, bro. That is why the likes of Layla are actually having the platform and they are doing what they are doing. How can Layla and what he does be termed as comedic? Tell me a joke. When it comes to our comedy industry right now as Ghanaians, we have the likes of Layla leading, Dr. Likee. How can you tell me Dr. Likee is fun? This is the guy who forces himself on you. This is the guy who has actually, does a lot of forced comedy on you guys. And look at the people that he attends to. People from Kumasi, people from the hinterlands, people from other parts of the world. They have bloggers where they don't know what to do with their life. They're the ones who watch this and they find it funny. How serious industry, Layla them are not part. Dr. Likee them are not part, bro. If you don't have the ability to make people laugh without saying anything or doing anything, you are not a comedian. Let me repeat that. If you don't have the ability to make people laugh without saying anything or doing anything, then you are not comedic. You are not funny. If you don't have the natural instinct, you don't have the natural instinct. Most of them need to fall into gutters. Most of them need to do something. Most of them need to say something. If they don't do that, they can't be funny. There's nothing funny about them. Look at this killing to your guy. Killing to your baby, they are killing to you. You don't have anything. Won't even find the for bimba. Can't you introduce something new? In terms, killing to you, something that you plan to do. It's not something like, something so smart. With Adibia tomu, what I say, who you be a tomu na wafanisa. Every day killing to you, bro. The level of, primitiveness on this side of our world, it be crazy, bro. Jimmy, and I said, and the fact that you are not exposed enough, and I said, what should we do to the other population for them to catch up? That is why the likes of Ben Sart will considered as comedic and funny. Ben Sart is someone who preys on women's sexuality to make jokes. What I said, he objectifies women, he sexualizes women. It's always about women in bed or something sexual or something. He has never done anything that is non-sexual, that is funny. Tell me, has Ben Sart done anything that is non-sexual, that is funny? He always needs to objectify women. He always needs to, make fun of women. He always needs to, talk about boobs and ass and use that kind of thing to invoke laughter. How can that even make you funny? How can you find that funny? The objectification of women, the sexualization of women, how can you term that as funny? If Ghana's comedy will rise, we need to go back to the basics. We need to go back to the years of 2010s. We need to visit the people like Calibos who started this whole skit making thing. When Calibos was doing the girls casa thing, he did not need to do outrageous stuff for you to find him as funny. What he did, his skits were educative, his skits were entertaining, his skits were informative. That is the essence of comedy. It needs to be educative, it needs to be entertaining, it needs to be informative. Now, in fact, most of these comedies that we are seeing today are making people lame. They're making people dumber. Comedy is supposed to make you, smarter. Someone like Dave Chappelle, a comedy that is on a certain high IQ level. And I say, to talk at him and I say, okay, BB and I say, BB. And then you comedy. You say a comedy, then say, because your system, no, I say, in classic for that Dawson. Say, more comedies, say, funny. What I say, Anka, and yes, in classic for that Dawson, Anka, you won't go for me, being or more control the system, Anka, moon would you get a moon come, bro. You don't deserve a seat at the table, bro. We need to go back to the likes of Calibos. We need to go back to the likes of Clemento Suarez. We need to bring those guys back on the platter. Obi and Ponsa, bro. Obi and Ponsa, bro. Yeah, sometimes he says a lot of crazy, outrageous stuff, but those are the naturally gifted comedic guys, bro. What I say? You need to be intelligent enough to understand. Let's say, what if me baby now? What get a phone now? Or talk at and else now? What really breaks my heart? They also have the numbers on TikTok. Ghana TikTok, they are cool, bro. I get cool. It's just Ghana TikTok is a perfect case study of how crazy the population is. Even DKB, we all said DKB was not funny and all that, but DKB was not doing this. This DKB was not doing this crazy thing that we see of Layla and Dr Likee and co. He wasn't doing that. We need to go back to decent comedy. Intellectual comedy, smart comedy that is, based on some level, some understanding of the issues, not just you doing something and, allowing people to just control the space. The space needs to be regulated. The space needs to be open to people that are naturally gifted to do the job. We need to segregate them. I believe that the whole Kumawood and the, Gollywood thing, Accra movie industry and the Kumasi in the movie industry, we need to replicate that in everything. In music, we need to have Kumasi level and Accra level. In comedy, we need to have Kumasi level and Accra level because you sit consistently things from that side and you're bullshit. And you're basic and we cheat and come on. And you're some way, airtime, and you're buffoo and you're fair. And your quality enough and inferior. What did I say? And also you're segregating on social media, also segregating Kumasi from Accra. We need to do those segregation. And it's not coming from a place of hate, but consistency has been proving that side it be crazy. And Kumasi is actually standing for any other part of our country where in crisis seminal or hormone, bro. Everyone that comes to Accra, we have the likes of Benson the creator. Some guys, people think being aggressive is, being funny. He wants to equate being aggressive to being funny. Tearing your clothes, falling, doing something crazy or just any the level of being funny. But do you know the reason? It's because the standard has fallen into the gadgets because nobody is actually lifting the standard to the level where it's supposed to be. That's why Benson the creator, them all things say now they be film actors and they be that. Do they write scripts? Comedy should be written. You should have script that writers and directors and people actually helping you to come up with ideas, bro. It's not just you just waking up and go stand on the street and be dancing and be doing stuff. I didn't do that comedy. You're more Benson the creator and Made in Ghana, bullshit. That's why I actually understand why Made in Ghana is actually veering off into streaming because that is where his talent is. Because the whole comedy thing, Bro, crazy that way, you know what's your crap? You behave like some bono weighty guy, bro. Comedian warriors, home. You did a crap, but all the things you do are not comedic, bro. And that's why we don't even hear from you again. Can you guys do stand-up comedy, stand on stage and make people laugh without falling and falling off and just stand and make people? You guys can't do that. You guys don't have that potential. It's not in you. So go back to the Calibers and go and learn. Go back to the Clemento Suarez and go and learn. Go back to the OB and Concern and go and learn. Even Bob Santo, go back to Bob Santo depths and go and learn Judas. Comedic. Naturally, the instincts are there. What I said, they don't need to force themselves like Dr. Likee or anyone for them to be accepted. And I say Dr. Likee, it's because we're forcing on us. It's not accepting. You need to force yourself on the people for them to accept you. That's why I'm accepting. But technically, and paying attention to the tiny details of this whole issue, they are not parts. They are not fucking parts. Now, I just want to say something that, these comedians, they need to fucking learn, and they need to learn very, very fast. Now, if they want to learn, there are so many resources out there that they can learn from. There are so many examples out there that they can learn from. They shouldn't even go to Dave Chappelle's level. Go to Nigeria. Go and learn from Sabinus. Go and learn from Sabinus. Go and watch his skits. If you can't even be as intelligent and as smart as Sabinus, just copy and replicate it in a different way in Ghana. What I say, copy is something different. For BBC, same more localized. What I say, go and learn from Sabinus. Go and learn from them. Those are the guys. They don't need to do anything extra. You can see that whatever they are doing is being written. It is scripted. So they are following a certain, procedure. And you say you are sorry near the camera here. So biasa or ye BB keke. Bro, bro, then I'm more, go and learn from Sabinus. Go and learn from the brain jotters them. Go and learn from them, bro. Some comments. This guy is part of the Streamers University. What I say? Those are the guys. Nigerians are naturally funny. Ghanaians are boringly funny. Ghanaians are not born funny. Before we can find a Ghanaian who is funny, he needs to be a very special breed of person. And for now, we don't have any of them. I said the comedy industry is being controlled and being spearheaded by Nkrasifo. Some people be, some BBB. Oh, ye be got the moon, Kofubi, at the chibi. We are not looking down on anyone, but we need the standards to rise to the high echelons. We don't fucking see that. So you guys go to Nigeria and go and learn. What I say, go to Nigeria and go and learn from their skit makers. Go and pay attention to them. Go and understudy them. And come back here and come and replicate something good. Now, the Amu Yani them crashes 7 before 7. Yo, me team make then I'm Now, for me, I think all these things needs regulation, especially for Layla. The Ministry of Education needs to step into this because these guys are actually influencing the next generation. There are a lot of people are on TikTok. They are watching them day in, day out. So if they see Layla falling into Ghana and people are licking his ass, they think that is the standard of comedy in Ghana because most of them are now even exposed to what is really, really happening in other parts of the world. And so the Ministry of Education needs to check what students, actually, use to entertain themselves. They need to block Layla them from, their videos getting to a certain level of people, a certain class of people, a certain, body of students. They don't need to be exposed to that canker, that degeneration, that crazy levels of incrassism, we need to block the next generation from being accessible to this incrassism and this, Jimmy on the internet, right? And also, the Ministry of Creative Arts needs to step in and control all this shit. Ghana Tourism Authority, those guys, all this is just a marketing tool for Ghana. If you have these guys doing this in criticism and they are using the power of TikTok, then we are doomed. And if these guys are the ones controlling the numbers, they are controlling the narratives, and these guys are the ones actually, informing, educating, and entertaining the next generation, then we are doomed. We are fucking doomed. We are finished. The right people needs to be given the opportunity to rise to the top. We shouldn't just allow the space for phobia or more baby or more phone in cameras and no say or more comedians. I'll do a one-man demonstration. I'm a cheap comedian boy. Before I end, I want to speak about this baby girl that they were doing a funeral in Kumasi. I don't know where some people actually had an accident. 4 people died reportedly. It really just tells me that the quality of life you live will determine the quality of people who will be at your funeral. What I say, the quality of life you live will actually determine the quality of people who will be at your funeral. Your circle of people. Look at these girls. Look at the quality of people there. Look at them. Look at the kind of recklessness that was exhibited there. You can just tell that or no what else and or no more accidentally your boyfriend shot you. And look at the people that came to your funeral. Look at the people, look at the caliber of people, look at what they showcased, look at what they wore to the funeral, look at the atmosphere, look at the place, look at the whole thing, bro. You would are you happy to see these people at your funeral? Like, is this the kind of life you lived? Are these the people that you were living with? You're not trying to judge the book by the cover, but this one, you are judging the book by the fucking cover, bro. What did I say? Subscribe, share,